Alrighty, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cryptic Coil, and in today's video, I'm gonna do a book haul for you. However, I'd just kind of like to, well, first of all, I want to dedicate this video to one of my subscribers. Her name is Lori Kramer. Lori, thank you so much for your touching comment. Um, I'm I only made this video for you because I haven't really been making videos lately, and I haven't been reading anything, and I haven't been watching anything. And the reason why is because I've made so much progress on getting my apartment together. Like, I was hoping to actually have it to a point where it would be clean enough and neat enough for me to have company over this summer, to invite people over to have a beer, watch a movie, eat some pizza, that sort of thing. And between the last time I made a video and this time, um, like, my place is pretty clean. Like, I can see the floor in all the rooms. Yeah, so I've made a lot of progress. Um, uh, so I'm getting to where I need to be, just by doing as much as I can every day. And so I really wanted to participate in Old School April. I signed up, but I just got real with myself back then, and I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm not going to be able to read, and I'm not going to be able to watch stuff. Like, I need to put in some work around the home, and I have been, just about every day. I've hardly missed a day. And if I have missed a day, something was stealing me from being able to, you know, unpack and clean and decorate and organize. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. There is an end in sight. Okay. All right. Now that that rant is over, I am going to do a book haul for you guys. Once again, special dedication to my wonderful subscriber, Lori Kramer. Comments on lots of my videos, left a very sweet, heart, warming comment this morning, and it was nice to have kind of woken up to that. All right, but before I get into the books, I did purchase a cologne today. Okay, and I purchased a cologne called Explorer Platinum by Montblanc. And I remember when this stuff came out a couple years ago. I saw some YouTube reviews on it, and I heard people comparing it to Aventus. And I, never got my hands on it, never got my nose on it. And then I found it at like Burlington Coat Factory today. This is a 2 ounce bottle. I found it for $40. And I was like, yeah, I definitely need to have more stuff in my collection for the summer because it's hot and it's time to put all the cool fall winter fragrances away. So I Googled it real quick and I was like, hey, wait, was Explorer Platinum by Montblanc comparable to Aventus? And Google said that it's actually comparable to Platinum Egoiste by Chanel. And that's where the name Platinum was inspired by. See that? Yeah. So, and I love Platinum Egoiste. I love that fragrance, okay? And so, but it's expensive. And so I was like, okay, I'll take it. So I ended up pulling the trigger. It's my first time wearing it tonight. And I think that there is a little bit of a similarity, especially in the opening, between both Chanel Platinum Egoiste and Creed's Aventus. So I think that it borrows a little bit from both, a little bit, because in the opening, I get like really, really strong lemon, and there could be some pineapple in there, but I also feel like there's some birchiness, some like birchy woodiness. And that could just be my imagination. Like I said, it's my first wearing of it, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I'm definitely going to be wearing a lot of this month and next month, maybe even September. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the books. Well, before we jump into the books, I did pick up a DVD from the thrift store Savers, and this is Texas Chainsaw. And which one is this? This is the 2013 one, which I have not seen. I saw Texas Chainsaw 2022, and then I saw like the ones from the 2000s, but I never saw this one. So I look forward to watching this. All right, so I don't have very many middle grade or young adult books. So let's just knock those out right away. All right, so first things, Foist Things Foist. I have Peter Pan by the Great Illustrated Classics collection. So Peter Pan was like my childhood hero. It was my favorite Disney movie. I was obsessed with Peter Pan. I thought he was really cool. His message was like, don't grow up, stay a kid. Being a kid is fun. I look back on that and I'm like, yeah, maybe for you, because you didn't have any parents. I'm glad I'm grown up and I'm glad childhood is behind me. But my fondness for Peter Pan is, you know, just always going to be there. And so I went ahead and picked this up. Okay. Let me just go ahead and put this at the bottom then. All right, so then there was a popular TV show. I think it aired on like PBS when I was a kid. And it was called Ghost Rider. And I only caught it a couple of times, but whenever I did watch it, I loved it. And this is a Ghost Rider book. And this one is called Steer Clear of Haunted Hill. And it's written by Eric Weiner. I have some of Eric Weiner's YA novels. So this is pretty cool. Whoa, look at that. It's got so then you flip it upside down and that's the cover. Interesting. Oh, Alex's eyewitness account. Gabby's eyewitness account. Huh. Okay, so the font is right side up on this half of the book. And then the font is upside down on the other side. That's interesting. I'm not even gonna read this. I just bought it to have it just because I was fond of the show when I was a kid. All right, and then this book. This is a biography of the story of Thomas Alva Edison, inventor. Okay, so I know the internet loves Tesla and hates Thomas Edison, but I bought this book from the Scholastic Book Fair in like second grade, thinking it was a horror book because like look at the cover. Okay, and then I didn't really read it till third grade, and I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't a horror book. But as I started to read it and start to learn who Thomas Edison was and what his life was like, I just fell in love with it. I loved this book in third grade. I still remember it to this day. And I've always been fond of Thomas Edison. And then I grew up, and then the internet decided they hated him and they loved Tesla. I don't know. I don't know, but it was a good book. And now I have it again. And it's in like mint condition. I just need to remove this stupid sticker from the front. All right. So, oh, wait, my bad. Let me just put these here. All right. So then, I have a Bone Chillers book, and it's Beware the Shopping Mall. Maybe I can save it to next Old School April, and I can do this as a reading prompt. Alex the Bookubus, please don't hate me if you're watching. I'm sorry. Okay, look, life just caught up to me. Like I've been behind, and then I just got super motivated to like catch up. Okay, like I've been drowning, but I've been fighting to survive. So I will. Sorry. Anyway, Bone Chillers. Okay, Beware the Shopping Mall. This is book number one. I never knew this was book number one. I've heard of this one. I didn't realize it was the first in the series. I think I only have like, this is only like my fourth, maybe fifth tops Bone Chillers book. The tagline on the front is "All sales are final." Dig it? All right. Then the synopsis on the back reads, "Shop till you drop dead." Love it. Okay. Robin's heard weird things about Wonderland Mall. She's heard it's built on a swamp. She's heard some kids disappeared there. She's heard it's haunted. But Robin and her friends go to Wonderland Mall anyway, looking for sales, looking for bargains. Too bad something's looking for them, something that lives at the mall, something creepy, something spooky, something that's been dead for a long, long time. That sounds good, actually. All right, and then lastly, for middle grade, I found TV episode number 3 of Welcome to Camp Nightmare. I know I have number 1. I think I have number 4. Now this is number 3. I didn't really watch the Goosebumps show much when I was a kid. I remember when it first came out, like, I wanted there to be a show before there was actually a show. Then they announced that there was going to be a show, and I remember watching it. They even brought in the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypts to like host the debut, and I thought that was so cool. But I only watched episodes if I'd read the book, and I'd never read this one, so didn't watch the episode. All right, and then for young adults, I don't have much. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me. I don't have much for young adult. I'm getting it together right now. Bear with me. All right, so I found another Lois Duncan, and I know because this is Albuquerque, which is where Lois Duncan was from. I have found one Lois Duncan book that's autographed, and I found this one with this cover. I do kind of cover chase with Lois Duncan, so it's nice to have this one in my collection. Where else was? Then I found a reading copy. I don't know if it's a reading copy or not. I have a mint copy of The Claw by Carmen Adams, but this one's a little bit beat up. But then I have one with the British cover, and that thing is beat to the bottom of Hades and back. So I don't know. I actually think there's another Carmen Adams book that I want to read before I read The Claw. So I don't know. I guess I got time to decide. I think that common sense tells me to read the one with the British cover because it's just beat up so bad that I don't even care about it that much. You know, it's like a perfect reading copy. All right. And then lastly, for young adult, I have Kill You Last by Todd Strasser. Now, Todd Strasser has written a bunch of like vintage Apple scholastic paperback books called like Help, I'm Trapped in Obedience School, where like a little boy has a Freaky Friday switch with his dog. And then there's like Help, I'm Trapped in the Principal's Body. I mean, it's like this whole series. Well, he wrote this one for young adults. And, oh, here's a picture of him. So I'll read you the synopsis on the inner dust jacket. All right. Shelby never imagined that her family would be the subject of a police investigation, but that's what happens when three teenage clients of her fashion photographer father go missing. Shelby's seemingly perfect life of hot sports cars, travel, and unlimited shopping trips crumbles when her dad is named a prime suspect in the girl's disappearance. Caught in the middle of the investigation, Shelby struggles to avoid the prying paparazzi, deal with threatening emails, and tolerate the hateful stares she gets at school. Meanwhile, the unanswered questions multiply. What's the connection between the missing girls and her father? Is he as innocent as he claims? Does the great looking guy who works with her dad have anything to do with the threatening emails she's been receiving? As one shocking revelation follows another, Shelby discovers she must face the truth about who the most important people in her life really are and aren't. And that sounds good. I think that this is part of a trilogy, though. Oh no, I guess there's he's just written other books similar to this. Like there's one called Wish You Were Dead and Blood on My Hands. One of my favorite bands, Lacuna Coil, just put out a new album last year, and that was the name of the debut single from the album. It was called I Wish You Were Dead. So, and it's very catchy. Love it. They're a gothic metal band from Italy. Check them out if you haven't. Lacuna Coil. They're kind of like the Italian Evanescence. All right. So now the rest of my books are adult books. So I have two from John Saul. All right. This one is called Nathaniel, and I love it. You know, there's like an isolated, farmhouse in a hayfield, and it looks like windmills are around, and there's a grave that reads, "Here lies Nathaniel, who died of his sins." So pretty cool looking cover. Here's the synopsis on the back. For 100 years, the people of Prairie Bend have whispered Nathaniel's name in wonder and fear. Some say he is a folk tale created to frighten children on cold winter nights. Some swear some swear he is a terrifying spirit returned to avenge the past. But soon, very soon, some will learn that Nathaniel lives still, that he is darkly, horrifyingly real. Nathaniel, he is the voice that calls to young Michael Hall across the prairie nights, the voice that draws the boy into the shadowy depths of the old, crumbling, forbidden barn, the chanting, compelling voice he will follow faithfully beyond the edge of terror. Nathaniel. Let's see, what year was this? 1984. Wow, this is older than me. I mean, not by much, but 2 years. So, all right. Then I have another John Saul, and it's called "Suffer the Children." Okay, love it. And there's a creepy looking porcelain doll, with like blood coming out of its like eyebrow. I dig it. He has another one that's called something like something about a stranger, and the cover looks super similar. So let's see. There is a tagline on the front, and it reads, "Innocence dies so easily. Evil lives again and again and again." And here's the synopsis on the back. 100 years ago in Port Arbello, a pretty little girl began to scream and struggle and die. No one heard, no one saw. Just one man whose guilty heart burst in pain as he dashed himself to death in the sea. Now, something peculiar is happening in Port Arbello. The children are disappearing one by one. An evil history is repeating itself, and one strange, terrified child has ended her silence with the scream that began 100 years ago. I mean, this sounds okay. I think I liked Nathaniel better. All right. Then I was excited to find this one because, I really love finding vintage Tor horror paperbacks. Or, yeah, so this is a Tor horror, and it's called Shadow Eyes by Catherine Patasik. I have no idea how to pronounce that lady's name. I'm sorry about that, ma'am. If you're watching, I doubt it, but just in case, I don't like to mispronounce people's names. But this is a pretty cool looking cover. Shadow Eyes. When you see them, it's too late. And she has a blurb from Peter Straub on the cover of her book. Good for you, Catherine Patasik. A good and spooky book, Catherine Patasik is better than many famous horror writers I could name. Wow, pretty cool blurb you got there. And then she also has a blurb on the back from John Coyne, who I've heard of. I don't know if I own anything from that author though. I've certainly never read anything from that author. But the synopsis on the back reads: Shadow Eyes. The first deaths go unnoticed. The next are unreported. The people of Albuquerque are suddenly unsuspecting prey for something swift and unseen, something with golden eyes and razor sharp teeth, something eternally evil, unspeakably powerful, and totally hungry. Only Chato del Clin, a restless Apache searching for a way of life more congenial than teaching college students, and Laura Rainey, a young, ambitious newspaper reporter, suspect the nature of terror that the authorities seem to be covering up. Only the tribal teaching that Chato has abandoned can possibly save them, but time is short. The Shadow Eyes have tasted blood. They're after more. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I live in Albuquerque. This is home. 1984. And I know that I have one of her other books. I don't know which one I have, but I just got all like stoked that Albuquerque was, on the back. So yeah, that was cool. All right. Then I found this one, and this was a pretty exciting find. It's published by Onyx, so it's an Onyx novel, and this one is called Amy Girl by Barry Wood. Okay, I'm like pretty sure that in my last book haul, I showed off this one. So I found this book, and I'd never heard of the author, but I just kind of liked the cover and the name, Doll's Eyes, and then I read the synopsis, and I just thought it sounded good, so I went ahead and bought it. And then today, I found this. It's a vintage Onyx Publishing called Amy Girl, and then it just occurred to me, whoa, okay, yeah, that's cool. I just found this one today. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and there's no synopsis on the front, but I just want you to look at the cover. So you see this little girl, you see this fire on the side of the cover, and then one of her eyes is normal, and then one eye is like flashing. It just looks like something's going on. So let's read the synopsis on the back. All right. 8-year-old, sweet and irresistible Amy is an orphan. Reach out to her with warmth and she'll love you, but cross her and she'll destroy you. It begins with a cold yet intimate breeze, like a shiver of fear, a whisper of death, and as it swirls into the innocent mind of beautiful young Amy Kaslov, she becomes the master of a terrifying power. Amy can make people do things very much against their will. She can make strange and violent things happen, even death. Someone must save Amy from her awesomely destructive power. Someone must uncover the evil secret that hides behind her beautiful young face. Amy Girl. Okay, so I get a little uncomfortable. Okay, so it's from 1987. I just rewatched the Rodney Dangerfield movie not too long ago, Ladybugs, and there was a scene where, like, back then it came across like he was just being a sweet old man, but it didn't age well because, like, now old men just wouldn't act that way even if they were trying to be nice. Times have changed, so things like 8-year-old sweet and irresistible Amy and her beautiful young face, like, maybe we shouldn't be describing 8-year-old girls like that. It's just a little uncomfortable, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. But it does sound good. Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that episode of The Twilight Zone about the boy who had powers, and then when they made the movie in the 80s, where it was just 3 classic Twilight Zone stories, except played by actors from the 80s and in color. This reminds me of that one about the boy who had the powers. All right. Ow. Oh, I just hit myself right on the funny bone. Okay. So I finally found Baal by Robert McCammon. And this is one that I've been on the lookout for. This is one that I've really wanted to read. Now, from what I've heard about Robert McCammon, I've heard that and I know that he's Kelsey's. She used to go by Slime and Slashers, but now I think her channel's called Kelsey's Nostalgic Life or something. She says that Robert McCammon unfairly gets compared to Stephen King, just like I think that in this book it gets compared to The Stand because it's a post-apocalyptic story, and then Boy's Life gets compared to it because it's a coming-of-age tale, and then he has one that's like about vampires. I want to get the vampire one. Like, what's the vampire one called? Somebody please tell me in the comments section. All right. Then I found this one by Gregory Benford, and it's called Artifacts. And this is a big book. Let's see, how many pages is it? 533. Wow. Oh, and this is a Tor Publishing, but it's published as suspense. I'm not even gonna read the synopsis on this one because I still have a little bit of a stack. I do have this one though. It's called The Legacy: A Birthright of Living Death. Oh, Hey, I said that I'd never heard of the author John Coyne, or I've heard of them, but I don't know if I have anything from them. I have something from them in this haul. All right, it's called The Legacy, A Birthright of Living Death. So let's read the synopsis on this one, though. An electrifying tale of greed, passion, and the occult. This chilling novel begins with the gathering of six people on a 16th century English estate as the guests of a dying man, but only five know why they are there. The sixth is a young American named Maggie Walsh, knows nothing of the link between her heritage and the great manor house of Ravenhurst, and nothing about the secret of the legacy. Mysteriously stranded in the English countryside, Maggie and her lover Pete have innocently accepted the hospitality of the millionaire, Jason Mountolive. His other guests come from all over the world: a lovely Italian courtesan, a former Nazi, a sharp tongued and beautiful Russian fashion designer, a young British music producer, a French entrepreneur. All seem delighted by their reunion at Ravenshurst, and Maggie soon learns that each one expects to gain from their host's death. But why has Mount Olive, now wasting away in his bedroom, brought Maggie here? And what about the uncanny resemblance she bears to the portrait of Margaret of Walsingham, once owner of the beautiful estate? As death begins to stalk surreptitiously, like the strange white cat present at each bizarre tragedy, Pete and Maggie attempt to flee in vain. Something about Ravenshurst has caused a change in Maggie. Perhaps it's something to do with the crest ring that Jason Mountolive placed on her finger, the ring that won't come off. As riveting as his first novel, The Piercing, John Coyne's latest tale of terror and the supernatural, based on a story by Jimmy Sangster, will haunt you long after you've turned the last page. Okay, very cool. Then I have this one. It's printed by Leisure, and the title is Demonize by L.H. Maynard and M.P.N. Sims. And here's the synopsis on the back. Emma had just started her new job as personal assistant to Alex Keltner, the charismatic and powerful head of Keltner Industries. So when he asked her to attend a party he was throwing that weekend at his scheduled estate, she knew better than to refuse. It would be her first party amid the extremely wealthy and powerful elites. It will be a party she'll never forget, if she survives. At first, it will be simply odd: mysterious warnings, strange, seductive guests, an atmosphere of lust and sexuality, video cameras in the rooms. But as the weekend progresses, Emma will slowly learn the true nature of the guests and her mysterious host and the real grotesque purpose of the party. That sounds pretty good, actually. So, yeah. Hang on. Beverage break. All right. Then I found this one by Dan Simmons, Children of the Night. I found this one yesterday, and then today I found the paperback, but I ended up not buying the paperback because I bought the hardback. Not gonna read the synopsis on the back of that one. Here's an exciting one. So everybody, I think, most of the people that watch my channel are Christopher Pike fans, and I think that a lot of us probably have this in our collection as well, the Cold one in paperback. Well, I have this one now. Oh, yeah, and about that. There's a sticker in here, and somebody wrote Christopher Pike, and it looks like an autograph. Is it possible that I'm holding an autographed Christopher Pike book? Is that possible? Because the dude doesn't really do a whole lot of like public appearances and interviews and stuff. Is it possible that this is an autographed Christopher Pike book? Could somebody please let me know? Because if so, I found it for like $3.99. I'm never selling that one, by the way, like ever. Like I'll have it in my collection till the day I die. All right, so I only have three more for you, and I'm not gonna read the synopsis on the back of this one, or I'm not gonna read the synopsis on the inner dust jacket. But this sounded good, John Ferris, and it's called Sacrifice. And what sold me on it was that it has something to do with like a father and his love for his daughter and his daughter's love for the father, but something's going on and you can't trust either one of them. And I was like, ooh, that sounds edgy and dangerous and fun. So it sounds like it could make the reader very uncomfortable. Similar to like that new movie that's out, Obsession, which was really good. I took a friend to go see that. Had a good time with it. All right, and then I got two more for you. And oh, I am so happy. I am so happy. Okay, it was the Christopher Pike book and these two that really compelled me to go ahead and make this video for you, Lori. I have been on the lookout for this book for years, okay? And I watched the movie for Old School April either last year or the year before. And it's Whitley Strieber's The Hunger. So the movie wasn't that good. I mean, I liked it because it was kind of made for people like me, people with a goth background who are into vampires. Because it stars David Bowie. It's got Bauhaus in the soundtrack. The cinematography had an overtly gothic style. So I mean, it was made for people like me. But the story wasn't very good at all, like of the movie. But I heard that the book is way better than the movie, and I believe that Vamptember is coming up. Am I correct? So this might be one that's really worth buckling down and reading for Vamptember. All right, and then lastly, also by Whitley Strieber, The Last Vampire. And I picked both these bad boys up for $2.99 a piece at Goodwill today. And it was like meant to be because I had the day off from work because tomorrow's the 4th, and so my company just gave us the day off, and then I drove all the way across town to a Goodwill that I hardly ever go to. I mean, I go there once in a blue moon, but not like all the time. And I stopped in and I saw these and I grabbed them. And I'm so glad I did. Except because, they've got a Goodwill sticker on there, I'm going to have to set some time aside because Lord knows I have plenty of time. If I have anything, it's time, not. And I'm going to have to do the Gugon thing to get rid of some stickers from some books. I don't think that's going to happen this week, but if I stay on top of everything that I'm supposed to stay on top of this weekend and catch up to where I need to be caught up to, maybe I can make time to do that next weekend. But anyway, it's been a minute. When I do get caught up to where I need to be caught up to, I am going to spend some more time reading, and I do want to focus more on book reviews. But Lori, thank you very much for that really sweet comment on my video this morning. It made me feel super, super good. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this haul. Take care. Horns up. Peace out.